welcome back to Dairy State Vegan. I'm Mariah, your Dairy State Vegan, and welcome to my very first video in a new series where I show you all kinds of party foods during this holiday and football season that will help you impress your fellow friends and family and show them that vegans can bring more than just a salad or a veggie tray. So let's get on with the video and show you how to party like a broccoli star. Okay, let's get on with the video. What is Camry and Marco pulling me about so early in the morning?
Hey, I was just calling to see if you were gonna make it to the party on Saturday.
Oh yeah, I'll be there. Jeff and the kids will be there too. Jeff isn't working on Saturday. What do you want us to bring?
Yeah, you just want to bring like a salad or a veggie tray, fruit tray, whatever you're comfortable with.
A salad? Frickin' salad or veggie tray? Does nobody think I eat anything else but a frickin' salad? Whether you're partying for the holidays or just a football game, it is party season, and this series is to help you find delicious snacks to bring to the party or for hosting your own party that aren't just a lame salad or veggie tray. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to make some delicious, easy vegan jalapeno poppers, and we're going to make some buffalo boneless wings. Okay, so first thing we're going to start on is our jalapeno poppers. I have my oven preheating to 350 degrees, and I'm just going to slice these poppers. I'm going to take the top off. We're going to slice the jalapenos in half lengthwise. And then with a spoon, we're just going to gently scrape out the membrane and all of the seeds. Okay, so now that we have our jalapeno peppers sliced and seeded, we're going to set these to the side and we're going to mix up our filling. Make sure not to rub your eyes or any other sensitive parts of your body after slicing these before you wash your hands. Also, don't pick up your baby. The oils and peppers can get everywhere, and you really don't want to deal with the pain from that. Okay, so for our filling, I'm going to use one whole container of the Trader Joe's vegan cream cheese. I also am really a big fan of the Aldi vegan cream cheese for this. And the great thing about that is both of them are really affordable. Don't worry about if it's too much for the amount of peppers that you have, because if you don't use it all as a filling of the peppers, it makes a really good cream cheese for your bagel the next day. So then to this, I'm going to add about 3 tablespoons of vegan Parmesan, a little bit of black pepper, garlic powder, and salt. One thing that vegan cream cheeses tend to lack, I find, across the board is salt. So I always add a little bit when I'm using them in a recipe. And we're just going to mix this together really well with a fork until it's all well incorporated. And this is literally all you need for your filling. All right, now give your batter a little taste. And if it's seasoned to your liking, it's really good. It's time to fill our peppers. So I'm just using like a spoon. I'm going to fill these kind of generously so they all have a good amount of the cream cheese mixture. Now we're going to be baking our jalapeno poppers today, but if you were to fry them, you would want to, after this step, take them and put them in your freezer for about 30 minutes. That way your cream cheese mixture doesn't just explode out of your popper. Now if you're not a fan of spicy food, but you like the idea of jalapeno poppers, you could use those little sweet bell peppers and do the same thing with those. And they'd be equally as delicious, and you wouldn't have to worry about the spice from the jalapeno. And they're about the same size, so it would be easy to just swap that out. All right, so my peppers are filled. I'm going to take my extra cream cheese mixture and set it to the side for my bagel in the morning. And now I'm going to show you how we're going to wrap these. Okay, so when you think of a jalapeno popper, most of the time you think of something deep fried and battered. But for the purpose of this recipe, I'm going to show you how you can make it really easy with some pre-packaged crescent rolls. Now later on in this video, when I make our vegan buffalo boneless wings, I'm going to be making a batter. And if you prefer your jalapeno poppers with a batter, go ahead and use that batter recipe. Just like I said, make sure to dip them or freeze them before you dip them and fry them. So I'm just using a package of Pillsbury crescent rolls, which are accidentally vegan, and I'm gonna roll these out on a lightly floured surface. I'm gonna separate the rectangles and pinch the seams together, and then I'm just gonna kind of press them out to kind of make them a little larger and a little thinner, because we don't want this to be too bready. Okay, so once you have a rectangle completed, you're just gonna take one of your peppers, and we just wanna thinly wrap it just until the seams meet. Like I said, you don't want this to be too bready because you really wanna taste the jalapeno. So once you get it to where the seams meet, just cut it. Make sure to press the seams together. Maybe give it a cute little candy wrapper twist on the end if you have extra long ends. And then you're gonna set this to the side and do the rest with all the rest of the jalapenos. Okay, so once they're all wrapped, I just put them on a sheet pan lined with parchment so it doesn't stick. And we're gonna pop these in a preheated 350-degree oven until they're golden brown, the jalapeno's a little tender. Probably about 20 minutes, but it all depends on your oven temperature. And while these are cooking, we're gonna get started on our boneless buffalo wings. Okay, so for our vegan buffalo boneless wings, the first thing we're gonna do is set up our dredging station. We're gonna have a wet and a dry dredge. So in our wet dredge, like we'd have our egg wash, I'm gonna use aquafaba, which is the liquid from garbanzo beans. You're gonna use about 1/3 of the can of liquid. I'm gonna put in a few dashes of hot sauce. You wanna make sure you season every layer or you're gonna have bland food. Then we're also gonna drop in a couple tablespoons of pickle brine. And then flour. Just gonna mix this together to see if we got the consistency we need. We want this to stick to our boneless wings and also help the dry flour to stick to them better as well. So you want it like a thin pancake batter consistency. All right, I'm just gonna add a little more aquafaba and a little more pickle brine. And then in our dry container, we're gonna add flour, about 2 cups. I'm just gonna use the last of what's in my flour container. And for seasoning on this layer, I have about 1.5 teaspoons of each salt, garlic, black pepper, about 1 teaspoon of paprika, and a little under 1 teaspoon of poultry seasoning. We're gonna mix this well together and then taste your flour. Make sure it tastes a little salty because this is gonna have to season what we're using for our boneless wings. So you wanna be able to taste your seasoning in it. Okay, so what we're gonna use for our boneless wings today is tofu, which I have been pressing between some weights and some paper towel for about 3 hours. You wanna make sure to press it for at least 2 or it's gonna be real mushy. And then also a good trick when you're feeding non-vegans vegan food is to feed them food with familiar names that looks like food they're used to. So I picked up some of these Light Life Smart Tenders. And I'm also gonna batter and fry these and mix them in with the tofu so my plate will look more like what they're used to with boneless wings. So for the tofu, I'm just gonna cut it into these cute little triangles. I just think it makes it kind of bite-sized. It looks more fun to eat. And then while I'm battering these, I have some hot oil, about 1 inch, heating up in a chicken fryer pan behind me, because once these are fully dredged and battered, we're gonna get this in a chicken fryer pan. These Light Life tenders, I'm just gonna leave as is. I'm not gonna cut them up. That way, like I said, they look like food that the non-vegans are familiar with, so that they'll be more likely to try it out. This is just a good trick to get people to try your food and have them go, oh, vegan food is actually delicious. And you can buy more of these tenders if you want, or skip them all together. You could also add in cauliflower in here and have like a buffalo boneless wing smorgasbord of options. So to batter our boneless wings, we're gonna put them in the dry mix first, then wet, and only let one hand go into the wet batter, otherwise you're gonna have a mess. And then we're gonna put them in the dry again. We're gonna top them with some flour so they get good and coated. And then I'm gonna set them to the side to get ready for the fryer while I batter up the rest. And the aquafaba acts as an egg replacer. So you can use aquafaba for all kinds of things. You can even make meringues out of it. So you guys will be seeing me using it more and more during this series to show you all kinds of delicious foods you can make using aquafaba as an egg replacer, because it's really cheap. It's just the water from a can of chickpeas. Aquafaba literally means bean juice. Okay, so now we have everything battered. I have my hot oil, and then over here, I have a wire rack sitting over the top of paper towel. Do not put paper towel on top of your wire rack. That's a good way to get soggy fried foods. But we are just gonna fry up each of our boneless wings until golden brown. The beautiful thing about vegan boneless wings is you don't need to worry about poisoning anybody if the inside is undercooked, like you would with chicken. So just pop them in your oil. Just do a few at a time. Don't overcrowd the pan or the oil will get too cold. And once they're golden and delicious, you're gonna flip them and fry them on the other side. And then once these are all fried and on our rack cooling, I'm gonna show you how to make our homemade buffalo sauce. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you how to make this super simple vegan buffalo sauce. I grew up a firefighter's daughter, so I'm a welder's wife. He makes fires, but before I married him, God prepared me by giving me a daddy who taught me how to put out fires. And one of the greatest things about being a daughter of a firefighter is learning how to cook like firefighters. So we're gonna take a bottle of hot sauce of your choice. I'm just using your traditional Frank's Red Hot, and about 2 tablespoons of the vegan butter of your choice. We really like the earth balance in this family. Now in the firehouse, when they would make homemade buffalo sauce, they would use a package of the macaroni and cheese powder. So I'm gonna add a few tablespoons of nooch to kind of replicate that cheesy flavor. Some of my favorite recipes to veganize now are recipes I got from the years my dad was in the firehouse. Firefighters know how to cook. My dad actually didn't learn how to cook until I was probably a young teenager, but still some of my favorite recipes come from the firefighter cookbook. All right, so we're gonna add a pinch of salt, because nooch isn't gonna give it the salt you get from that mac and cheese powder. And then we're also gonna add a little bit of garlic and a healthy squeeze, maybe about 1.5 tablespoons of yellow mustard. I'm gonna whisk this together, and you just need it till the butter is melted and it's hot and bubbly, and then we'll come back and we will put everything together for you. Okay, so while I'm finishing up with these buffalo wings, my husband is actually gonna make the ranch to dip these in, and we just wanna show you the hack we found. So the Kroger brand ranch dip mix, not dressing, is actually accidentally vegan, and it's really good. It's gonna give that familiar ranch dressing flavor that your friends are expecting. We just mix it with some veggies. Sometimes we do half veggies, half sour cream. Tonight we're just gonna do veggies. A couple tablespoons of almond milk, thin it out, and a capful of apple cider vinegar, and then about 2 teaspoons of dill to add to it to give it a more homemade flavor. And that's gonna be our dip for our jalapeno poppers and our buffalo wings tonight. Okay, so now we have all of our golden brown fried tofu and vegan chicken tender pieces. I'm gonna put these in a big mixing bowl. I know this bowl seems excessive, but we wanna toss them in the sauce. Then we're gonna take our homemade buffalo sauce, drizzle it over. Start with half and add more if you need it. You can always leave it on the side for dipping. And then we're just gonna toss and evenly coat. And our vegan boneless wings are as easy as that. And you can toss these in any sauce you want. You can toss them in barbecue, however you want. This recipe works for all of that. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Throw some celery and some carrots on your tray along with that ranch dip and tell them, here, you brought a frickin' veggie tray. Watch them inhale everything you made, and they'll never ask you just to bring a salad or veggies again. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm gonna go inhale what I made with my family while we have a family game night, and then clean up the disaster I just made in my kitchen filming this for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm looking forward to doing this new series for you. Make sure if you haven't subscribed already that you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss a single video. Thank you for watching and letting me show you that it's easy to be vegan, even in the dairy state. Bye.